Good morning, everybody. How is everybody doing today? It is a dreary Friday, but it is Friday. And people tend to enjoy Fridays, do they not? So I wanted to talk a little bit today. We were talking about value in advertising the other day. I want to talk today about a concept in retail or just general salesmanship. It's called perceived value. Something that I have a mild moral quandary with. I mean, I have a lot of mild moral quandaries with a lot of things, and I don't get too hung up over the mild moral quandaries. I focus on what's important. But at the same time, perceived value. Isn't that a bit of trickery? Let's see. I am the way and the truth and the life. Jesus, I am safe. Good for you. Go, man, go. Sorry, their bumper sticker caught my eye. So perceived value. If an object has what's called perceived value, an item for sale, you can charge more for it. And I was thinking about this when I was listening to a podcast about the post-apocalypse, basically the shutdown of society, and how the first thing to go is going to be water and gasoline. That's what everybody's going to want to buy. As much water and gasoline as you can get. And then all the foodstuffs, in particular the non-perishable foodstuffs. And then maybe vegetable oil. And they were saying, well, vegetable oil is something that could be used to make biodiesel. So if you need vehicle fuel and you can make a biodiesel engine, vegetable oil would be great. And I'm thinking, well, okay, why is it that these things are going to be price gouged first before the vegetable oil? And that would be primarily because of a need. The demand is super duper high. So that's genuine, legitimate supply and demand. Price gouging is when you take advantage of supply and demand, or when you take advantage of people by leveraging supply and demand. Right? Okay. But perceived value is taking advantage of people because of ignorance? Is that true? Not sure. Basically what I'm saying is, if we were to sell you a widget of some kind, and it costs us $1 to make the widget, we would expect you to pay $5, $10 for the widget, depending on how many you're going to buy. Now, if we made a widget that cost us $1.50, or let's just say that a different type of widget that cost $1, but this one has gold trim, it has perceived value, we might expect you to pay $10 or $15 for that. Now, it doesn't actually have any real more value to it. It's simply a perceived value. But the demand on it might be higher. So is that legitimate? Is that necessarily true? What else might have perceived value? So there could be a perceived value to a car that has a sunroof. But perhaps that's real value. I'm not sure how much deeper I can dive into this. We used to, when we were selling in the print business, we would sell a lot of things based on perceived value. Name brand recognition can certainly be perceived value. There's no particular value to having actual honest-to-goodness Ultraboard as opposed to an Ultraboard knockoff. Right? Anybody ever use Ultraboard knockoffs? I don't know that actually we used Ultraboard knockoffs, but there were plenty of name brand products that we used the knockoffs for. I actually preferred the knockoffs. But, is it okay if really there's no actual value difference? A car with a sunroof has an actual value difference. You are actually getting something better. It should actually cost more to make the car. But what about that gold trim widget? It has perceived value. I believe it's more valuable, so therefore I should be paying more for it. I'm willing to pay more for it. Well, I think back to the days of anytime there's a technology boom of some kind. If you are used to paying $50 for object X, but all of a sudden a new method of manufacturing is discovered, which allows item X to be manufactured for the exact same way, the exact same product, except now item X now only costs $2 to manufacture, whereas it used to cost $15. Now it only costs $2 to manufacture. So it used to be that you were making about a 32% markup. Or excuse me, 320% markup. 15 to 50. Now, let's say you change that markup to 900% and sell it for $40. You're getting a much, much bigger markup. But everybody's winning, right? The manufacturer is winning because his new method of manufacturing is saving him a lot of labor and effort, and it's also making him a lot more money. And the consumer is winning because now they have a product that's more competitively priced. And the great thing about that is, well, now that you've driven the price down, now you have your competitors. We're talking commodity market here. Somebody making hard drives or something. Your competitor, who was selling it for 50 and only making 320%, might try and undercut you or at least price match you. He'll make a little bit less profit, but at least he's going to stay in the game, so you're going to have to dip down even lower. You can get a little price war that way. It's good for the consumer. Plus, that also will slowly and evolutionarily force the other manufacturer to improve his methods, cut corners, find some method of making this widget that's better than the one you're using. And in order to stay ahead of the game, you can't wait until you need to do these things. You need to be looking for ways to do these things all the time. So there's never a moment where you set up a system and you go, all right, my system's set up, I'm square. Because you'll be square for anywhere between 3 to maybe 36 months. Somebody's going to come along there and cut that square in half. And now you're going to be trying to live on a triangle. That was a strange analogy. And that's okay. But what about perceived value, right? This product has the value of $45. People are willing to pay $50 for it, now they're only paying $45. You're getting a much higher markup on it because you made your manufacturing process better. But if you could add perceived value to something, what I don't have in front of me, and I'm sorry, this is why this video is suffering as much as it is, what I don't have in front of me is good examples of perceived value. But what if you don't actually do anything to the product? What if you take your product that takes you $10 to manufacture and you make a change to it? Now it costs $11 to manufacture. But there's no actual added value to it. You've added something completely superfluous. You know what that's like? That's like taking a computer. This is back in the 90s. Taking a computer and putting some stickers on it so it looks like it's children friendly. Or, oh geez, do you ever do this with people who don't know technology? They're trying to buy something for themselves, something as simple as a modem or a router. And they say, well, I had to buy one. This one was $10 more, but look at all these things that it does that the other one doesn't do. And one of them said, wireless N router running at XYZ speed, something, something. And the other one said, wireless N router running at XYZ speed. Good for data, data, office, gaming, streaming, something, something. And the first one just said, perfect for home or office. Well, this one does gaming and streaming and something and something. So those words, simple words on the package are perceived value and can sucker people in, but that turns into advertising. What exactly is perceived value? I think we've uncovered a flaw in my thought. I remember perceived value. I can vaguely understand the concept of perceived value, but I can't quite put my finger on it. So we're going to have to redo this episode. First off, you're going to have to tell me, what is perceived value? Have you ever experienced that? Do you believe it's okay to charge more for something simply because it has perceived value? Second off, I'm going to need to look up and find out what exactly is perceived value. I'm going to have to come back, and we're going to have to re-explore this topic at a later date. But in the meantime, stay dry. Have a nice weekend.